What if I told you the person who invested less total money ended up with a bigger fortune? It sounds like a glitch in the matrix, but it's actually just physics. And if you're in your 20s, you're currently holding the most powerful cheat code in the financial system. But here's the irony. The moment you have the most time, you usually have the least amount of money. This creates a mental trap that costs most people their retirement before it even begins. Let's rewind to your early 20s. You're broke or close to it. Rent hurts. Food is expensive. Investing feels like something rich people do after they make it. So you tell yourself a story. I'll start later when I earn more. After I enjoy life. Sounds reasonable. While you wait, inflation is eating your future, and time is charging you a delay tax you can never pay back. It's called the Rule of 72. At 8%, your money doubles every 9 years. Start at 20, it doubles 5 times by 65. Start at 30, you lose that final largest double, the one worth the most. Here's how investing actually works. Stripped of hype. When you invest, you're not just putting money somewhere, you're buying time. Specifically, you're buying access to compound growth. Compounding is boring on paper and violent in real life. It works like this. Your money earns returns. Those returns earn returns. At first, nothing seems to happen. Years go by. The numbers barely move. Then, quietly, the curve bends. And once it bends, it doesn't ask for permission. Let's use uncomfortable numbers. Say you invest $200 a month. That's not extreme. It's 2 nights out, a few subscriptions, a bad phone upgrade decision. Now assume a long-term average return of 8% per year. Not a miracle, not crypto hype, just boring market history. If you start at 22 and stop at 32, only 10 years, then never invest another dollar. By age 65, that money alone grows to roughly $500,000. $500,000 from a decade of small effort. Now flip it. If you wait until 32 and invest that same $200 every month until 65 over 30 years, you end up with less money than the person who stopped early. Yes, the one who invested less time ends up with more money. That's not motivation, that's physics. This is the part nobody likes hearing. Your early dollars are not equal to your later dollars. A dollar invested at 22 might work for 40 plus years. A dollar invested at 42 might only get 20. That early dollar is an employee who never sleeps, never complains, and never asks for a raise. Delay, and you fire that employee before they do their best work. Now let's address the hype. Social media tells you investing is about picking the right stock, timing the market, finding the next big thing, beating everyone else. That's entertaining. It's also mostly irrelevant, because for people in their 20s, behavior matters more than brilliance. You don't need to be right all the time. You just need to be present early. The market rewards participation, not perfection. Most long-term wealth isn't built by genius moves. It's built by staying invested while life happens. Recessions, crashes, pandemics, wars, bubbles, headlines screaming, "This time is different." And somehow, over the decades, the system keeps grinding upward. Not smoothly, not politely, but persistently. Here's another uncomfortable truth. When you're young, investing feels pointless. Your balance is small, your gains are tiny, your effort feels wasted. That's not a flaw in the system, that's the system working as designed. Early investing is invisible. Nothing exciting happens when compounding hasn't kicked in yet, which is exactly why most people quit. They judge the strategy too early. It's like planting a tree and quitting because it didn't bear fruit in the first year. By the time results become obvious, the opportunity is already gone. There's also risk. Starting early doesn't mean you're immune to mistakes. You'll buy things you don't understand. You'll panic, sell something you shouldn't. You'll chase trends that die quietly. That's normal. The advantage of starting young isn't that you avoid mistakes. It's that you make them while time can still fix them. That's why a bad decision at 23 is tuition. A bad decision at 53 is damage. At 23, losing $1,000 on a bad stock is a story you tell at dinner. At 53, losing $100,000 is the reason you can't retire. Make your mistakes while they are still cheap. Now zoom out. Why does this matter right now? Because the safety nets people relied on before are thinner. Pensions are rare. Job loyalty doesn't exist. Inflation quietly eats savings. Retirement ages keep drifting upward. The system increasingly assumes you will invest, not because it's kind, but because it's cheaper for everyone else. Opting out doesn't protect you. It just means you fall behind quietly. Here's the irony. Most people in their 20s think investing will restrict their freedom. In reality, not investing is what locks them in. Locked into jobs they hate, locked into working longer than planned, locked into stress that compounds in the wrong direction. Early investing doesn't buy luxury. It buys options. The option to walk away, the option to slow down, the option to say no. So what if you start investing in your 20s? Nothing dramatic happens tomorrow, or next year, or maybe even the year after. Life looks the same. Until one day, much later, you realize something strange. Money feels lighter, time feels heavier, and decisions feel less desperate. Not because you were smarter, but because you showed up early to a system that rewards patience more than talent. You don't need a fortune to start. You need a system. One automated transfer, one low-cost index fund. That's the on switch for the machine.